As we begin to talk about our families and God's original design and intention for our families, I believe we have to ask ourselves, what will we believe? Who will we believe? How should we live? What guides and shapes your thoughts, opinions, and ultimately your actions when it comes to family structure, foundation, relationships, and love? You know, there's a lot of voices and opinions in the world today. Do this, try that. But I ask you, whose voice and opinion should matter the most? A television talk show personality? The tabloids? Weekly news magazines? Who are you allowing to speak into your life and family? There's a lot of good books out there on the family, on family relationships, on raising children, on husbands and wife relationships, and frankly, there are a lot of not so good books on the same subjects. But whose voice do you listen to? Who will you believe? Whose advice do you follow? I'm a pretty simple person, and I don't claim to be a scholar or even a theologian, and if you've listened to me for very long, you know I often describe myself as a student. I'm always trying to learn, and you may not always agree with what I have to say to you, but what I say comes from a sincere heart that wants to see God's best for you. In my simple way of finding the answer to some of these questions, I've come to the conclusion that there is such a thing as absolute truth. There is a path to follow. There is a compass and a guide available to you and me that will lead us and guide us in the decisions of our entire life and especially in our families. In John chapter 8, verse 22, Jesus said, "We will know the truth, and the truth will set us free." Pontius Pilate in John chapter 18 asked Jesus, he said to him, "What is truth?" You know, a lot of people have their own answer or opinion on the subject. And I believe the answer to that question can only be found in God's Word. God says His Word is a lamp to our feet, a light to our path. It shows us the way to go. It can guide our decisions if we let it. It can protect us from wrong choices that will have disparaging consequences. Jesus gave us a pretty direct answer to the question of what is truth. When He prayed to His Father in John chapter 17, He said, "Father, sanctify them in the truth." You know, another word for sanctify is purify them. And He went on to say, "Your word is truth." Jesus said He was the way, the truth, and the life. Not one of many ways, not one of many truths, but the way, the truth, the life. You know, if you decide that what you believe and who you believe and how you will live will be based solely on God's Word, I can promise you a life and a family filled with peace, with joy, with happiness, with contentment that you'll not find anyplace else. Tomorrow we're going to go a little deeper into discovering the secrets to having the family that you've possibly always dreamed of. And I hope you'll join me. Till then, God bless you.